South of France, the old medieval town of Le Castellet, baking in a July afternoon of hot sun. And just a few kilometres away is the flat, dusty plateau where the Paul Ricard circuit is laid out. It's the scene of round 6 of the 1987 World Championship, the French Grand Prix. We watch the warm-up lap from the cockpit of the number 2 Lotus, driven by the Japanese driver Satoru Nakajima. Nigel Mansell has taken pole position for the 4th time in 4 races and the 5th time out of 6 starts this year. But Alain Prost is 2nd quickest in the McLaren for his home Grand Prix. Ayrton Senna in the Lotus Honda is 3rd quickest. Nelson Piquet's Williams Honda 4th. Thierry Boutsen in the Benetton Ford 5th fastest, and Gerhard Berger's Ferrari is 6th. The shorter circuit, shortened last year, is 2.37 miles long. It has a very long, fast back straight where the turbocharged cars are exceeding 330 kilometers per hour. It's an 80-lap race. And it's very, very hot indeed, so there's a lot of questions about tyre wear on the abrasive surface in the heat. Here's Nigel Mansell coming up to take his pole position. Alain Prost, the reigning world champion, in number 1 McLaren. At the start, one of the Ferraris moves early. It'll later be penalised. That's Michele Alboreto. The other Ferrari makes a slow start, Gerhard Berger. But up at the front, Nigel Mansell slots from pole position into the lead for the tight right-hander at the beginning of the lap. There's quite a traffic jam, and Stefan Johansson's nose wing is hit by the wheel of De Cesaris's Brabham. At the front, Mansell leads. Past Prost into 2nd place goes the other Williams Honda of Nelson Piquet. But Alain Prost is 3rd, and Ayrton Senna's Lotus is 4th. Behind the 4th placed Lotus, it's the 2 Benettons and the 2 Brabhams. Then Alboreto's Ferrari. Thierry Boutsen is in 5th place, Teo Fabi 6th, Andrea De Cesaris 7th, Riccardo Patrese 8th. Down to the first corner once more, and Mansell and Piquet are pulling away as Stefan Johansson makes for the pits to replace his damaged nose, and Eddie Cheever in the Arrows Megatron fails to complete even one lap. Mansell is pulling away a little bit from his teammate Piquet. Already on the long straight there's a smoking car. It's Andrea De Cesaris and his Brabham on fire. Prost follows the 2 leading Williams Hondas, and Ayrton Senna drops back in 4th place. Nigel Mansell is pulling away from everybody. After 3 bad races in Belgium, Monaco and Detroit, he's determined to do better today. Nelson Piquet spins at the first corner, losing 2nd place, but rejoining in 3rd. Martin Brundle loses a rear wheel from the Zack Speed just after he's made a pit stop for fresh tyres. Obviously the rear wheel hadn't been fastened properly. Mansell is now under considerable pressure from Alain Prost. He doesn't want to drive any harder to pull away from Prost for fear of damaging his front tyres. Into the pits goes Nelson Piquet for his tyre stop. It's a good stop, less than 10 seconds, and he rejoins in 5th place. But the 4th placed Benetton of Thierry Boutsen retires immediately afterwards. Alain Prost comes from 2nd place in to make his pit stop. And this is an excellent one. Less than 8 seconds. Prost rejoins just in front of Nelson Piquet, but Piquet goes straight past him as Prost is still warming up his new set of tyres. The McLaren ahead of Piquet here is Stefan Johansson. Nigel Mansell comes in from the lead to make his pit stop. Unlike his stop in Detroit a week ago, this too goes smoothly. After less than 9 seconds, he's back in the race. Mansell rejoins in 3rd place, but he's very quickly on the tail of 2nd placed Alain Prost. Prost's engine has been down on power with a slight misfire in the latter part of the race, and he can't offer the same challenge to the Williams Hondas as he did in the early stages. As they come up to lap Nakajima's Lotus, Mansell neatly goes past Prost. So now it's Williams Honda's 1st and 2nd again. But any idea of team tactics and letting Piquet win goes by the board as Nigel Mansell charges up to catch up with his teammate in very short order. As Piquet goes wide on a right-hander, Mansell is alongside and back into the lead once more. Nelson Piquet decides to make a 2nd pit stop for tyres to see if that can get him back onto terms with Mansell. But it's a gamble that doesn't come off. He stalls the engine. That wastes at least 8 extra seconds. He comes out again in 3rd place and has no difficulty making it 2nd as he passes Alain Prost once more. But by now, Nigel Mansell is long gone, and here he is on his final lap. It's been a flawless race for Nigel Mansell, his 9th Grand Prix victory, and some recompense for having scored only 2 championship points in the last 3 races, despite having started each of them also from pole position. So Nigel Mansell wins. Nelson Piquet finishes 2nd, 7.7 seconds behind. Alain Prost is a distant 3rd, with Ayrton Senna's Lotus 4th, a lap behind. Theo Fabi's Benetton in 5th place, although it was pretty sick by the end. And Philipp Streff in the normally aspirated Tyrrell, finishing an excellent 6th and scoring a championship point. Alain Prost manages to drop the champagne. In the World Championship, Ayrton Senna still leads, but now by only 1 point from Prost, with Nelson Piquet 2 points further down, and Nigel Mansell coming back into 4th place, 3 points behind Piquet. In the Constructors' Championship, Williams Honda now have a 6-point lead over McLaren, with Lotus Honda a further 9 points down. The next round, round 7, is the British Grand Prix at Silverstone,